I see you. I see you. Girl, don't you make me wanna leave the one I'm with. Start a new relationship with you. That's what you do. Think about a ring and all the things that go along with it. Make me before anything came between us. You were like my best friend. The one I used to run and talk to when me and my girl was having problems. You used to say it'll be okay. Suggest little nice things I should do. And when I go home and I lay my head down, all I seem to think about was you. How you make me want to lead? Oh, see? Y'all gonna make me bust that usher. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be bankhead bouncing in here. Ooh, baby. Let me get a little sip of this. Back here. Oh, you know I could blow? I could blow when I want to now. Yeah. Now what's bad is you're the one who hooked us up, knowing it should have been you. What says that I love her, but I'm falling for you. What should I do? Should I tell my baby bye bye? Should I do exactly what I feel inside? Where you at? That's what we say in New Orleans, huh? I don't want to go. I really need to keep this together. Ooh, baby, what you do? Yeah. Man, that was the joint. That was hot. That was hot. I guess everybody could relate to that, you know? I'm with her, but I really want to be with her. And now I feel a little obligated to stay where I'm at, but what I'm drinking tonight? Tonight I'm drinking a little Knobs Creek. You know what it is? And no, I don't do the rye. I like bourbon. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. I don't know what it is. I got about I don't know how many bourbons I got up in there. I try to keep just my straight bourbons. Every now and then I'll try a rye, but I really don't like rye bourbon. And I shouldn't be giving them no shout outs. I'm gonna have to hit somebody up for some sponsorship if I'm gonna be drinking their sippages on air and spreading the word and selling their product. What y'all think? I should be doing that, right? Moving into 2023, I think that's where I'm going to be headed. I'm going to be looking at expanding the show. I'm going to be looking at doing some, I don't know, uh, I'll probably seek out some sponsors. Some sponsors have sought me out, but it wasn't necessarily who I wanted to sponsor me. I didn't feel like it was someone who would be true to my word. What's up? What's up? What's up? Drop me some thumbs. Show me some love. Ladies, I get expect a thumbs up from the brothers. I expect y'all to give me some kisses. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Don't make me, ooh, girl. Oh. Now, what's bad is you're the one. You're the one. You're the one. I've been really trying, baby. Trying to hold back the shit. And then let me go. Let me stop. No, I ain't even had that much to drink. Y'all gonna think that I'm talking about. But I'm not. I am in this joyous thing. I got this thing going on. This has been a fantabulous week. Um, we've been talking about some things. If you come on camera, like I said, drop me some thumbs. Let me know you're there because Facebook don't always show me my true participation. Same thing with YouTube. YouTube, where you at, baby? Where you at? I know you're there. I know you're there because I can see you. But some of you I can't see until I don't always know who's there until you give me some love. Oh, here's a hug right back at you, gal. Baby, if you give it to me, I give it to you. You know what I want, you know I got it. For whatever reason, I was listening to some what's my man's name? Some Luda. How the hell you ain't gonna cut girl on me? I'm the goddamn reason you in VIP. When I move, you move. Just like that. When I move, you move. Just like that. When I move, you move. Hey, DJ, bring that back. You know what I mean? So, yo, fam, bring that back. When I move, you move. When I move, you move. When I move, you move. Just like that. How you ain't gonna cut? Girl, I'm the reason you in VIP. Uh. Ask my brothers on the block, I'm as real as can be. Keep keeping it what? Real with a capital. Let me stop it. Let me stop it. Folks, it's been a fantabulous week. I can't believe this is December already. Seems like I was just saying Happy New Year and you know Happy Thanksgiving and even before that, I remember the quandary my head was in whether or not to say Happy Independence Day. So I just said Happy 4th of July, and we would celebrate it in our own way. I do remember that. So, with that being said, I'm gonna say, how's everybody doing? Everybody get my gift. If you don't have a stocking hung over your, okay, if you don't have like a fireplace, ladies, you could hang a stocking over your bed because there's a meeting at my bedroom. I'm bugging, man. Look, I've had some good times. I've had a good birthday. I've had a good month, and we had a good year. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing started in a minute. It's about three past the half, and I'll say this. You guys y'all keep me hype, y'all keep me hype, y'all keep me hype. So with that being said, I'm gonna say, hey, how you doing? Yeah, yeah, just like that. Um, I'm still doing some things. Life is about balances, and what I realize is, um, there's some things that have been going on. Where my other YouTube people at? Where my other Facebook people at? Hit me up, hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. Where you at? YouTube. I see you sitting in the rafters. Don't be lurking. Come on up in here, show me love. Show me love, show me love. Um, every time something good happens, it seems like something bad happens. But what I try to do is I try to flip the script and say every time something bad happens, I'm compensated by something good happening. So that's what it is right now. That's what it is. I've got, it's 5 past the half. I guess I'll give you guys just a minute to come on in. Take your helmets off so y'all can see me, so y'all can see the words that coming out of my mouth. Get your seat. Don't put your gum underneath my seat. Sit yourself down, take a seat. All you got to do is listen to me. Um, We'll go ahead and get the show started in a minute. I was just trying to give a couple people, since I haven't been here for a couple weeks. I've got some of my regulars are here. Hey, what's up? What's up? And some people are coming back I haven't seen in a while. And I guess I'll get some new people as well. With all that being said, let me go ahead and say good evening and welcome to the show. Before I say anything else, I want to say, rest in peace to Irene Cara. You are going to live forever. We were the same age, and everybody, okay, if you're about our age, you remember the impact that this show had on us, Fame. And she burst on the scene unknown, and she did this thing, and she put Debbie Allen on, and she put the boy that played Leroy, and so forth and so on. So there wind up being a school similar to that in New Orleans called New Orleans Creative Arts. Now it's become program. Now it's become a school of its own, of itself. So Irene was, and Debbie Allen was instrumental in doing that. She was only 63 years old. So when I see my contemporaries passed, I always like to give him a shout. Um, Also, the guy that played on Texas Ranger, the black guy, Clarence Gilliard, he passed as well. So I don't want to turn this into a rest in peace, but I think some people are noteworthy. He also played the computer genius on um, the Bruce Willis movie where he was in the towers. What was it? Die Hard. That's what it was. And then he was also one of the black fighter pilots in the original Top Gun. So shout out, to their families, condolences to all of those people whose lives they touched, including my own. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's 7 past the half. I want to say good evening and welcome to the show. As always, I always start off by saying thank you for choosing to spend your Thursday nights with me. I am truly humbled that of all the things you could be doing, you choose to be here with me. My name is Hank Batiste. My show is called OMITDALOGIC. This shit makes no sense. I'm trying to get into the Christmas spirit, but I gotta admit, I feel a little bit about the Grinch, and I don't know why. Um, I'm probably one of those people that starts to feel melancholy this time of year because what once was Christmas for me is no more. Coming from New Orleans, my mom's used to uh, make a big pot of gumbo and some fresh eggnog, and we would go by my mom's house and we would exchange gifts, and we would have just a little um, family interaction, kind of just me and my siblings. My mom is gone, and my two older siblings are gone, and my one sibling who remains um, has been recovering for the last 3 years, or last 2 years from a stroke. So I guess even though I say I don't know why, I know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. My kids have grown up, they're doing their own thing. So Christmas is usually with their prospective families or with their mother. Mamas have a tendency to play I carried you 9 months card and get them for the holidays. The court system doesn't intervene to make sure dads get, you know, Christmas time or holiday time, so it is what it is. With all of that, the voices in my head are saying, "Hey, bro, it's December. It's December 1st. You've had a great birthday. You got your health. You did your part, and some of the outcomes. So I don't want to take credit for the midterms, but I know that some of the things that I said have sunk in, not only to you but to some other people. So now that I've done my part, and I'm gonna say this to you guys as well, because you've been inundated with my voice. You've been the one who's been beat over the head. You've been the one who's had to listen to me incessantly talking about voting, incessantly talking about this one and that, and beating up my ladies for jumping on a bandwagon, fighting a fight that is not yours. Let's all just take a breath and breathe. Blow it out and breathe. And this sip is for all of you. It's for you and you and you and you too. That is so good. I start off with two fingers. By the time I'm on air, I'm down to one finger neat. Um, to be honest with you, I've been teaching, I've been preaching, I've been trying to educate the masses, I've been trying to excite people about how to get and stay involved in the political process so that our children's children will have some of the same liberties that we so auspiciously take for granted. What I have come to realize is when all is said and done, there are no absolutes, folks. And there are people that are listening. First of all, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that's been tuning in week after week, listening to what I had to say and so forth and so on. I appreciate it. I truly, truly appreciate it. Secondly, I want to say this is going to be my last show that's going to be dedicated primarily or solely to politics. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to address matters that educate the masses and try to affect change in my own way. I've always felt this Martin thing, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? But when I think about what's about to happen, as we have a Republican House of Representatives, and I'll touch on that later, I think it's time for us to shift gears and for me to kind of address some things that are specific to us. Hey, baby, I see you a little late, but anytime you show up, I know it's nothing but love, nothing but love. This woman always bathes me in hugs and kisses, and I'm just beside myself. So, ladies, I appreciate you. The brothers that come on now, we got to get past this thing where brothers are in competition with each other for something that don't belong to any of us. You understand? We have to really feel some unity. So, I think it's time that we shift gears. I'm going to talk about some things that hit closer to home for us as people because something happened this week, and I'll finish up the show with it. But something happened this week that touched me beyond um, words. It really touched me. And if you know me, I'm rarely at a loss for words. But in the weeks to come, I'm just going to be winding down and I'm going to be doing some light shows as much as I can. And then I'll be gearing up for a splash, a big bang in 2023 because we're only 3.5 weeks away. Well, okay, today we're 30 days away. I count off a week for Christmas. Christmas and New Year's to me is the breeze, is the walk in the park. So tonight's show is titled I Told You So. You've been putting up with me, but I've been putting up with some other folks that have been hard headed, that don't want to listen, that say things behind our backs, that say, who do we think we are? Who do I think I am? So forth and so on. And now it's a time where we get to gloat because we did our part. So I told you so. And other than that, if I had a subtitle to tonight's show, it would be called 51 is better than 50. Because once Joe Manchin showed his true colors, all I had been saying is we needed enough of a majority in the Senate to nullify both Manchin and Sinema. So to my people in Georgia, shout out, big ups. We're with you. Let's give a moral spirit. Let's get everybody out. If we can get Warnock back up in there, that'll give us a 51st seat. Um, and the things that Manchin chooses to do, he has to get with the program more because he'll no longer be that stick in the mud or that deciding vote. So he won't have the power that he has had for the last 2 years to hold up the vote, hold up the program, and become someone, an entity in and of himself. My name is Hank Batiste. This is Omit the Logic. This shit makes no sense, but let's make it make sense. Let's get this going. First up, I told you so. No more Pelosi, no more. That's my first. I told you so. Now that Nancy's ineffectual leadership has resulted in the Democrats losing the majority, and we're not just talking 1 or 2 seats, we're talking grand total of 12, 13 seats. Now that ineffectual leadership has resulted in the Dems losing control of the House. Now she says she wants to step aside. Now she says she's contemplating retirement. I say too little, too late. And in the back of my mind say, what if? What if we had someone who was dynamic enough? Let me not go off on a tangent. Let me talk to my sister for just a minute. And when I say sisters, I mean all of my ladies. Ladies, remember, I was the one who had the balls to say Nancy was not the right choice for Speaker of the House. Let me say that one more again. I was the one who had the balls to say Nancy was not the right choice for Speaker of the House. And so many of my women got mad at me. And I said, I was the one who said, I was the one who said that her ineffectual leadership would not be able to connect with what I call the factions of the progressives, the moderates, and the conservatives, and bring them together to be one cohesive group to get Build Back Better passed in the House. I was the one who said that Nancy should be held accountable. If we're going to hold Trump accountable for pimping the White House, then we have to hold Nancy accountable for pimping the Speaker of the House and the gavel for personal gain. I was the one who said she should be held accountable for not focusing on domestic matters. I was the one who said she should stop the inside trading with her husband, Paul, and her son and focus on domestic issues. Finally, I was the one who said that if by some miracle the Dems could hold on to their majority in the House, that Nancy should pass the gavel. She's not going to be the leader. So now I'd like to introduce to you, it's like if he was sitting in the wings, the head of the Democratic Party, the head of the Democrats in the House of Representatives is going to be a brother by the name of Hakeem. No, not Moesha, Hakeem Jeffries. And what's cool about this is it appears on camera across the board that the House Democrats are excited about what Hakeem has to offer as a leader. He's younger, he's more energetic. I think there's about 30 years between Hakeem and Nancy. So I've been saying this all along. I'm 63. First of all, I don't act 63, either good or bad. Second of all, I try to surround myself with young people who are progressive thinkers, who challenge what I believe, my so-called sacred cows. As we get older, we get hung up in things that we know or we've seen, and we expect it to be the gospel, and we preach it as such. But sometimes it's good to listen to young people because they remind us of how idealistic we were, idealistic. Folks, I am so full that I'm tripping over my words. For that, I want to apologize. And as we move on, you'll understand why. So I'm going to say, let's give Hakeem a round of applause. More importantly, ladies, there has been in politics, especially in the Democratic Party, this push to put men aside and say it's our turn now. I don't care if you're man, woman, I don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. Always the best person for the job. And the problem is in today's politics, we've been playing these, for lack of a better word, quota games. It's time for a woman. It's time for this. It's time for that. Let's get back to picking the best person or the job. That's all I got to say about that. Let's move on. I told you so. Number two, now the Republicans or the Trump publicans are going to take control of the House. For the last 20 months or more, I've been telling you what would happen if the Trump Republican faction of the Republican Party takes control of the House. For the last 20 or more months, I've been telling you what would happen if McCarthy gets the gavel. Look for more diversiveness. I'm sorry. He's going to divide. Let me break this down and make it simple. I have a tendency to be too flowery with my words. Look for a huger divide in policy to exclude everyday people and who I affectionately refer to as the have-nots. If you're not part of the top 1 to 3%, make no bones about it, you are a have-not. Because the policy that's about to come down the pipe will exclude us regular people and focus on those. So the other thing, if McCarthy gets the gavel, he's going to embrace those Trump disciples, those Trumpies, Trumpers, Trumpets, so we can look for more hate and sense rhetoric. There will be an immediate cease and desist in all things that are January 6th and the failed coup attempt on that day to take control of the government. There will be a reinsurgence of all of this we didn't lose and no more fairity in politics. When you lose, you freaking lose. Step aside, take it on the chin, and be a man about it. Find something else to do. There will be an immediate push if McCarthy takes the gavel. Right now, there's some uproar whether or not he has enough votes to get the gavel as the Speaker of the House. But of all of those people that they talk about, Kevin McCarthy is the most extreme. And his ego is as big as Trump, as big as DeSantis. And I'm going to say it, as big as Pelosi. I said what I said, and I meant what I said. There will be an immediate push to undo everything that Biden has accomplished, including the Infrastructure Act, including Medicare, Social Security, and social policies that have to do with everything from pre-K and school lunches and all of this. This blood, sweat, and tears toil that we have watched unfold over the last 2 years will be no more in a matter of months. We can look for some investigations in people like Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. We can look for the Republicans to be looking to do an impeachment. Oh, you did it to Trump, we're doing it to Biden. If McCarthy gets the gavel. And I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that this is not something that I can say I told you so a year from now. But if in fact it does come to fruition and it unfolds, remember you heard it here first. Now, if by some miracle McCarthy does not get the Speaker of the House vote and does not get the gavel, what it means is that the Republican Party is moving further away from Trump-style policy in public. Let me say that one more again. It means that the Republican Party is moving away from some of the hateful rhetoric of the Trump years in public. But in private and behind closed doors, They're going to be doing everything to wine and dine that part of the Republican Party because it boils down to votes. So, though it may not be spewed in public, it's going to be in a backdrop. That's all I got to say about that. Moving on. Georgia on my mind. Georgia on my mind. Now, this is not this is not a I told you so. This was an epiphany. This was a revelation, not epiphany. This was a revelation. Before I get bogged down in how illogical it is for even Herschel Walker to be a candidate and how some people are saying, I don't care if it was a monkey, I would vote for it because it's a seat to the Republican Party in the Senate. Before I do that, why Herschel Walker is a viable candidate, allow me to share a story of Volusia County here in Florida, where I live. There's this quaint little Mayberry style town called Deland. Now, Deland is about 30, 40 miles away from Daytona Beach. It's more inland. There's some beautiful land and houses, and I looked at the area. But I'll be right honest with you. And when I use this term, it's not racist. It means that I just didn't think that I could flourish for being who I am. Dealing was not black enough for me. And when I say black, I mean progressive, not the color black. Because as go the way black folks seems to bring about change and progression for everybody. When we get it, other folks jump on the bandwagon and they get it too. Be it women, be it LGBT, be it whomsoever, be it the Iranians and the Mideasterners, they get what black folks get. So Dealing wasn't diverse enough or black enough for me. So I go to this little quaint town and I go to this soul food restaurant. It's called A Taste of Soul. So I'm gonna give him a shout out. Now, this brother, he came out and he's doing this thing. I try to promote, small business, but when I see a small black business doing their thing, I'm always gonna give them a little extra love. So he came out to check whether or not we were enjoying our food and so forth and so on. And we started talking. You know me, I engage everybody. And he told me that his dad was about my age and he had ran for, no, his dad was probably older than me because he told me he was 56. He told me that his dad was running for mayor and he lost. Then he told me that the predominantly black area was like DC. And this was not his words, but as he's talking to me, this is what I started to feel like. DC has taxation without representation. So there's only 50 senators, not 52. So the District of Columbia, you get it? Okay. When he told me this, he said that this predominantly black area here in Volusia County does not have a voice. Now, he said they didn't have a right to vote. I'm wondering if what he actually meant was that their vote has been so diluted through redistricting that they no longer have a voice. So I have to do research, but I wanted to tell you about it for two reasons. Because so many of us take the right to vote for granted. So now you have a group of people who do not have a voice. And as the area became gentrified, and whites started to move in, they were annexed into a different zip code so that they could vote and that their voices would be heard. And I was shaking my head and I said, this is a story that I have to tell. So I'm going to challenge you. I'm not going to do the work for you. I'm telling you the story. Check it out for yourself. D-Land, D-E-L-A-N-D, Florida, Volusia County. In a Republican, Trump-publican, racist state, only you can take an area that was once populated by people, a group of people that was so densely alike that they had political clout or political voice. Only in a Ron DeSantis in a Trump America. And this is what I was beating up Nancy for, because you sit idly by and allowed this to happen. You should have been pulling Merrick Garland's shirt tail and say, this is a civil rights violation. That's all I got to say about that. Moving on. I'm going to close this out. I'm going to make this short and sweet. And this last I told you so has to do with why I've been doing this for the last 3.5 years. I keep telling you, I am blessed in that I don't have to monetize this and try to turn it into something that makes money. I am, and I'm going to use that money to develop a think tank to address issues that are political in nature and that affect us as the have nots. So I'm telling you where I'm headed in 2023. So watch my smoke. When you look up in the sky and you see those smoke signals, you know it's me working. And I'm going to tell you why I'm so energized. I'm going to tell you why I'm so excited. And I hate cliffhangers. So here it is. My son, my grandson, Tamir. Tamir is a sophomore at Southern University in Baton Rouge. He's studying computer science and engineering. And even from a young kid, 10, 11 years old, he used to say, Big Papa. Now, I told you, his older sister was the one who gave me the name Big Papa. So I was Big Papa, P-A-P-A, not P-O-P-P-A, long before there was a Biggie Smalls that we knew about, okay? He said, Big Papa, my name should have been Henry Baptista Ford. And I said, you know what? It really should. And he and I used to spend time, and I played with all my grandsons, and my granddaughter would get angry because I played sports with them. And she was tickled to death because she said, Big Papa, you never play with me. You always play with the boys. I was like, well, baby, what you want to do? She said, well, let's play hopscotch. And I said, hopscotch? I said, okay, I watched my sister and them play it. But then she thought it was so hilarious, me trying to bend my big behind over trying to pick up a rock standing on one leg. Ooh, Big Papa, you so funny. I said, if I fall and I break something, I'm like, when I get out the hospital, it's going to be your first whipping. I promise you that. But the boys, they would listen to me. But that Tamir, he was my man. He was the one that I would spend time with, and we would talk about Marvel comics because it was something that he took an interest in. So I would explain the difference to him from the comic verse universe and the cinematic universe. And then I would tell him, you know, when I was your age, I had all of these comic books. And unfortunately, my mama threw those comic books away, not knowing that they were a treasure chest. So now, fast forward. This kid is 20 years old. He's a sophomore in college. And he calls me this week and he says, Big Papa. I said, what's up? He says, I have to do a short paper for this English class, and I want to interview you. I said, okay. He says, yeah, it's titled Who I Looked Up to. And I, I had a frog in my throat the size of a 14-foot alligator. All of my kids have never done a paper on me. They've bragged about their dad from time to time. They've been pissed about their dad more often than not. But here's this grandson of mine, and he said, so I'm gonna share the paper with you before my punk behind start crying. Who I look up to. Growing up, I really did not look up to anyone. But as I got older, I started to take notice of my grandpa, Henry Batista's achievement and the adversity he overcame to achieve them. I chose him because of his wisdom, the wisdom he has given me, and for always keeping it real with me. He was there when it got hard for me in my freshman year of college and when my grandmother passed away. He wanted to be a physician and attorney. He graduated school with a 3.75 GPA and received many scholarship offers. He would forego college for the military because he would have two children before graduating. While in the USMC, he did demolitions in the infantry. So then he went on and he talked about some of my accomplishments. And I'm wondering, he saw the pictures of me and President Bush, and he would ask questions like, how you get to meet him? And just, I said, and the one person I wish I had taken a picture of was Thurgood Marshall. And I had to explain to him who it was, and so forth and so on. So he goes on and he talks about all of these things. The fact that, I was at Howard and I was recruited to run the radiology department. And then I went on to get a master's in this, that, and the other. And I'm looking at this, and he finishes up with this. He retired at 57 and moved to Florida at 60. He now does photography and hosts a weekly podcast. And he asked me the name of the podcast, and I told him it's OMITDALOGIC. And he said he recently started a nonprofit called Black Agenda and Policy Initiative. And I'm wondering why he asked me this, because I was looking at something that I could pass on to them and get them involved in the process. He said, even though he dedicated his hard work to my great grandparents because of their hard work and sacrifice to provide for him. I always told him that my mom said, son, I don't know what it is about education, but I know they were willing to kill us to keep us from getting it. So get as much of it as you can. And this kid was actually listening. Then he says, even though he's retired, he still works hard to make sure that his grandkids do better than he. As I continue my journey in life, he continues to provide me with knowledge and motivation I need to be successful in this world as a young Black man. Even though I chose another profession, he continues to provide me with the best wisdom. So I wanted to share that for a couple reasons. I'm proud as all out that he's doing the things that he's doing. I'm proud that my mother and my father's legacy is that her children's children and their children will all be college graduates and productive citizens and able to take care of themselves and make a difference and affect change. But I say all of this to you simply because we are the elders. We are the grandparents. And I keep telling you, I do this so that my children's children will have some of the same rights that we have the audacity to take for granted. And I say this, I share this with you because as a grandparent, as a patriarch, as a matriarch of your family, your kids and your grandchildren are watching you. So if you decide whether you're going to do something positive or you decide all they're going to know about you is you drinking and smoking weed and dropping it like it's hot and all of this other stuff, they are watching the example that we set. The last thing I said to this child is, I said, despite what your peer group is doing, do not look for the easy way out. Challenge yourself, because when you accomplish something that's hard, it gives you the confidence to overcome any adversity that you might encounter. So with that, I'm gonna say good night. But before I do so, I'm gonna ask you to go to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna ask you to hit subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'm gonna beg you, if you live in Georgia, if you know anybody that lives in Georgia, urge them to get out to the polls. Bring them to the polls if necessary. We got 5 more days, folks. And 51 is much better than 50. If we could have got 52 chairs, then Sinema and Manchin would have had no choice but to get on board. So it is what it is. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Share these shows with other folks. And remember, the thing about life is nobody leaves this game alive. So make it work, Sutton. Live for a purpose. I will see you next week. Same Baptiste time, same Baptiste place. My name is Hank Batiste. This is OMITDALOGIC. This shit makes no sense. But every week we gonna make it make sense and make sense of it. As always, important to wish you love. I wish you peace. With my fresh cut, hair grease. That's all I got for you tonight. Good night, people. I love you. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it. If you came in late, check me out. Check out the replay. Go to YouTube.